Hi, I'm Casey with Keeping It YYC. Today I'm joined by David Burtyn with Ruckify. How are you today, David?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you so much for asking. I'll jump right into the questions and I'll have you tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ruckify is a rent anything marketplace. So think Airbnb, but for stuff. So we help people rent out items that they already own to other people in the community so they can actually make some additional money. So, you got a garage full of tools and equipment, you got a backyard full of a kayak or a canoe, you got a house full of things you only use a couple times a year, like my golf clubs that collect dust. I rented out twice last week. You can actually post on Ruckify and rent it out to other members of the community. So the idea is that you're saving some money, you're saving some money, you're making some money while you're helping someone else save some money at the same time. So as opposed to going out and buying something brand new, you're only going to use once or twice. Why not rent it from your neighbor? And you guys, and especially, post-COVID, it's like, wouldn't that make more sense as opposed to buying something brand new? Then you rent it from your neighbor, you get to save some money and you help them make some money at the same time.
Yeah, and save some space. For someone like me, I live in less than 700 square feet with no storage. Like I don't have the space even for a mixer. You know what I mean?
Save some space and save the environment as well, as opposed to bringing new products in all the time that end up in a landfill eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. I like that idea. So then my second question is, what have you been having to do to adapt to the current environment?
Yeah, so pre-COVID, about 40 to 50% of our business was parties and events. All of a sudden, overnight, there was no parties and events. In fact, they became illegal. So it's like, okay, how do we still do what we do? How do we still provide value, and how do we still help people? So, one of the first things we did was we started to partner with fitness centers. So they were closed indefinitely. They're not collecting membership fees, so they're not making any money. They've got, a whole gym full of equipment that's just sitting there not being used. Why not rent it out to other people in the community that also are, they want to work out, but they have to stay home. So this way they can still social distance. We can get the fitness center making some money, and the person can stay active at the same time. So that was immediately what we started to do. We then switched into, okay, so then now people are working from home. So it became desks and second monitors and chairs. And then it's like, okay, now we got to keep the kids busy because the kids are home. So it's like board games and that sort of stuff. And then it's okay, now the family wants to do something together, but we can't leave the house. So what are we going to do? We're going to get a projector and a screen so you can do a home movie night, So that's kind of, the progression with that happened. And then now that everybody can go outside again, it's like canoes, kayaks, bikes, paddleboards, anything to get us outside. Let's do that. So that's kind of the natural progression of what happened there.
So it was just a switch of like what your most popular items really were.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You could rent out, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It always had everything on the platform, but it was very heavily weighted on the, that kind of two categories of parties and events, right? Because that's where, if there's a lot of it, people need a lot of items. So that's where they was all focused. Now it was like, individual people, individual items and that sort of thing. So spread across the board, which was really cool to see.
Very cool. So do they pay a fee to be like somebody who shares their stuff? And then like, how does that work?
Yeah, so Ruckify, it's free to use, so there's no monthly fee, there's no startup fee, there's no fee to post. The only way Ruckify makes money is on a completed rental transaction. So basically, if you were to put something up for $100 a day, that item would get rented out. It would come back to you. You would get paid out for that item the next business day via e-transfer. And then basically we keep 10%. So you would get $90, we would keep 10, and that's it. So
awesome.
You post your own items, you pick your price. We can give you suggestions of what you should charge, because to make sure that you're not overcharging or undercharging or anything like that. But yeah,
you make money, we make money, everybody makes money.
Yeah, exactly. And we actually waived our fees during COVID as well. So we just resumed our 10% rental fee on July 1st. So we kind of stopped that as of like March 12th right up until June 30th to make sure that anyone during COVID that wanted to make the most money can, 100% of the money was going back to them during a time that everybody needs it.
That's crazy. That's amazing that you guys did that. Well, then that kind of speaks to my next question. But my next question is, what can people do to support their local businesses right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, so we've done a couple things. So this is more on the community side of things. We actually partnered with the United Way in Calgary at the beginning of this as well. So we partnered with them to be able to get people to donate any extra cell phones, tablets, and laptops. So any extra technology, old technology you have sitting around the house, to actually donate it through Ruckify, either temporarily or outright. And then we got it wiped and updated with a partnership with the Electronic Recycling Association, and then to whatever organization that United Way needed to help people connect. So people stay connected. So basically it's like, we would help them get these devices, because there's conversations that need to happen, like this, where you can actually see the person as opposed to just a phone call or a text. So as we help people stay connected in the time of need. So we put a call to the community, and we're getting people to donate the technology through Ruckify outright, and then when we get it to the United Way and the people that need it. So we did that immediately. Obviously, we had the fees waived, but now it's like, we're looking at people and businesses to be able to post things on Ruckify. I mean, if you've got stuff sitting around your house that you're not using, if you've got inventory as a business that's not being underutilized, if you got a product that's not flying off the shelf, why not put it up on it as a try before you buy, right? Someone, if it's a more expensive item, someone could take it home for a weekend, try it out, fall in love with it, and then they could still, end up wanting to purchase that item. Or and you have all these things sitting around that isn't making you money and you're not using, as opposed to just selling them once or throwing them out, you can then post them on Ruckify and make some money from them, right? And you're helping people save money at the same time, as opposed to have to go buy that item new. And then the other thing we're doing too is we also have a referral program. So basically we have a referral program, which is a link on the website that anyone can use to start, that gives you 35 free Ruck Bucks. Basically it's our internal currency, like our Canadian Tire money. And then so you get 35 free Ruck Bucks that then you can use towards your first rental. So you're actually, you get to try it out for, either free or next to nothing. And then you're also helping out the person that you're renting, where you're throwing them a rental as well. So it doesn't affect the money that the poster makes, but we want to make sure we're generating a good experience on both ends. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. So then my last question for you is, do you have any tips and tricks you can give in relation to your area of expertise?
Yeah, I mean, COVID obviously has been a very interesting time. So, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to, think outside the box. And just like for me, it was interesting because we still want to grow and expand and help more people, but, everyone having a social distance, it's like, how do I still do that from my house? So, it's a lot of networking meetings, a lot of Zoom calls, and that sort of thing. But it just kind of, it's been amazing to be a part of something where we've been able to still do what we do. We've been able to help people through the United Way. We've been able to provide value and still help people just on a local level as well, because we're very community based. We're building a community of trusted users, and we want to make sure that we're able to do that, post COVID and for years to come.
Yeah, awesome. Community is super important right now. That's something we've been realizing as well.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, we just did an Instagram takeover, actually. So we did the Life in Calgary takeover, where we were showcasing, things that you could do in Calgary and rent through Ruckify. We have a partnership with the paddle station that usually rents out kayaks and rafts and stand-up paddle boards just on the Bow River. They were only allowed to open like 2 weeks ago, and then still had to shut down because of the river was too wild. So, but they've been able to do rentals through the Ruckify platform for people to just come pick them up and right at the gentleman's house. So they were able to still do that with everything being closed. So that's pretty cool to be able to, help local businesses like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. So that was actually all the questions I had for you. But we do kind of like that you end the interview for us. We ask that you look into the camera, state your name, your business name, and ask everybody to keep it local, keep it YYC.
Okay, so I'm David Burtyn from Ruckify. Keep it local, keep it YYC.